On Tuesday, May 15th at 5:30. And welcome everyone tonight. I'll note for the record that Mr. Warren is absent, and I'll say that he did send a note earlier today with his regrets. He's feeling under the weather, and just to tell you how bad it is, he passed up a fishing trip yesterday. So it's serious. So anyway, Jerry, we miss you this evening, but I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight. Welcome. This night is really special when you think about being an American and all it represents in our nation. First of all, freedom is not free, and the ability to have free and open elections in our nation, since we have had since our birth, is something that we should never take for granted. And it is the foundation of what makes this country so great and what makes it so special to call ourselves Americans, and to live in a state where the preservation of that Constitution is especially near and dear to us is something that we should all harbor with great importance. And local government is where this nation is truly at its best. And so, the demonstration of that I think was evident during this recent election. And I just want to thank everyone for their participation and their voting and with that, we will move to the formal action to conclude the election, which is to canvass the election results. And the way we'll do that, we'll have the council members who were not up for election this year to go with the city secretary and review the results and report back to the council. So at this time, I'll ask Mr. McClinton, Mr. Harrison, and Ms. Zachary to please go with Secretary Stacey King and review the results. This is where Mr. Nix sings the Jeopardy song for us. Maybe not?
I left that music in my
Okay.
jacket. I really thought this was where the mayor told a riveting story to hold the audience's attention.
Oh, okay. Well.
You need some help filling all this free time you're gonna have in your hands? Think you could buy plenty of things to do?
I think they're waiting on me.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
There may be a list of receipts.
I thought that was awful, would never end.
Mayor,
Mr. Harrison.
the canvassing committee has reviewed the information for the city elections taking place on May 5th, 2018. It is the opinion of the committee that all appears to be in proper form, and the results yield the following. Doug Savine was duly elected as mayor. Carla Trussell was duly elected to seat 2. Alan Nix was duly elected to seat 6. Brandon Huckabee was duly elected to seat 8. This concludes the canvassing committee's report.
Brady Pendleton, he left out Brady.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. Brady Pendleton was elected to seat 4. And this concludes the canvassing committee's report. And with that, I make the motion to approve ordinance 2018-R-08, canvassing the May general election.
Second.
All right, motion by Mr. Harrison, seconded by Mr. McClinton to adopt Resolution 2018-R-08, canvassing the May general election. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion carries. Unanimous vote. Congratulations. Thank you for allowing me a few moments to say a couple of things before I ride off into the sunset, so they say. I'll start out by saying this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I want to say thank you, first of all, to God for His provision in my life and to this community, to my lovely wife, Carrie, and her dedication, my family, the council, your work, and just thank you is not enough for your hard work and commitment and dedication to this community. You are true public servants, and for that we are blessed. To the city staff, from the newest employee to Jimmy Chu. Thank you all very much. I understand full well that you are in a profession of public service, and to that we as a community are greatly appreciative. I sincerely thank you for all your support of my time in office and for the day in and day out work that you do, providing safety and security for the infrastructure of this community and for the community services, and for that we are very grateful. For the leaders of different organizations in the community that help make it operate, the civic organizations, the Chamber, Stedco, CETA, thank you for your commitment to this community, but most of all, the local residents that are here tonight. I really appreciate both your support, but also for you calling Stephenville home, because you, the residents, are what make this community so special. And you've got to be here to appreciate it, but once you're here, you never want to leave. I want to talk about that for just a moment. It has been an honor to serve this community. Stephenville is uniquely Texan. Independent, hardworking, educated, God-trusting. A place where family values and a giving heart still matter. I left Stephenville on June 21st, 1981 with my parents, Jerry and Patricia, and my sister Kathy to catch a plane to Colorado Springs in the United States Air Force Academy. My plan, play football, get a degree in civil engineering, and come back home after my 5-year commitment following graduation. I met a roommate there. I had 2 of them, one from Syracuse, New York, Bob Baker, Dave Humblett from across Wisconsin, and Kenny from Stephenville. I learned a lot about math and what calculus is really about, leaving a high school that had trig. I sat in classroom with peers that had had 2 years of calculus in high school. And I didn't think I was very smart. And I didn't think I was going to make it. In fact, if you talk like a boy from Stephenville, you got asked when you started wearing shoes. And it was a wake-up. It was really, really a setback. But when it came to discipline and understanding yes ma'am and yes sir, I remember calling home and saying, I don't understand why they're making such a big deal about this, because respect of your superiors or elders is just something you're supposed to understand. Who I was had been defined by my faith, my family, and Stephenville, Texas. I joined the Air Force with a commission as a second lieutenant, and I learned the Air Force core values: integrity, service before self, excellence in all that we do. I saw a lot, and I learned a lot. And with every assignment, my goal was to come back to Stephenville. It took me 30 years, but it finally did happen. Praise God. During this time, a Bible verse became very important to me. Basically, it was do your best where God puts you in life. It's not about me. That verse is Colossians 3:17. Whatever you do in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks through him to God the Father. Carrie and I purchased some land outside of Stephenville several years before my retirement. So when we moved back, we bought a small house with plans to soon build a house on that land. I had no plans of political office. Needless to say, the plans to build a house were put on hold, and they have been for 6 years. The thought of becoming mayor was for me not about the office, the title, or a political goal. My thought was simple. I've learned so much, and now, God willing, I have a chance to give back to the community that I believe had a huge part in my success as an officer in the United States Air Force. My service to this community has provided me with two ideas that I would like to briefly discuss. These two words are what I think has made my role as serving as mayor so very rewarding. The two words, unity and stewardship. You see, to see our community come together in unity has been so inspiring, so rewarding, and so many times it has happened. To turn our attention from inside to outside, to realize that our true competition is Weatherford, Cleburne, Brownwood, and to see great successes of excitement and encouragement with the vision and the development, the creation, for example, of the Bosque River Trail. To hear the doubts of that's never going to happen, to the overwhelming response and acceptance of an economic development authority in Stephenville. And most recently, a culmination of over 2 years of effort to create a historic downtown district in Stephenville that arguably will change and preserve the life of our downtown area forever. I think equally fulfilling has been the cultural change I've seen in city government and the embracing of the role of stewardship, to take the long view, to understand that performance, quality, and transparency are really what our government is supposed to be about. The question we must constantly seek answers to is simply, how do we provide for the long-term needs of our city? These long-term needs are also called quality of life. And quality of life is defined as a balance of safety and security, infrastructure, and community services. And I'm so excited to see the results and the momentum that's been built. The pavement management plan, I think, broke the ground. It gave us visibility of what the possible was. The possible to take the idea that we don't know, we can't, or where do we begin, to a well thought out and organized process to take care of the streets in this city. The thoroughfare plan to guide and move traffic as the city continues to grow. And our current efforts with water and sewer that will culminate in an asset management plan that will help us efficiently and effectively take care of the needs of this community. We've also begun to acknowledge and pursue funding of state and federal sources to ease the burden on local taxpayers. There are millions of dollars available waiting on us to tap into. We've also recognized the huge resource that we have in Tarleton, Ranger College, and the school district to develop a local workforce. You see, if we don't develop our workforce, our local workers, our city will die. And that the understanding that an increased economic base, both in building and business, will decrease the long-term burden on local taxpayers and help fund the long-term needs of our community. It is a great time to live in Stephenville, and I thank you, the council and staff, for your diligent work on these initiatives. You are making a difference. So many have asked why I did not run for another term. Well, let me speak to that briefly. First, you've seen her support me for 6 years. What you have not seen is that her support spans 32 years. 26 of that as a military spouse. Prayers, late meals, encouragement, and more prayers. Carrie, I love you. Thank you. Second, while term limits are debatable, I completely agree with George Washington's desire to return to life as a private citizen. Plus 6 years are biblical. Finally, my departure allows for the transition to new and better ideas. It's not about me. And hopefully my departure will serve as an opportunity for others in our community to serve in public office. We, the citizens of this land, need to take back our community and nation and restore the dignity and humble honor of public service. It is the foundation of our nation. It has been a true honor to serve this community, and I thank you for allowing me the opportunity. Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us, and confirm for us the work of our hands. Yes, confirm the work of our hands. May God bless each of you, your families, and may God bless Stephenville, Texas. Thank you.